Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is my Forbes colleague, staff writer Zach Everson. Zach, thanks so much for joining me once again.
Thanks for having me on. Glad I haven't embarrassed us enough for you to blackball me.
Not yet, but the day is still young. So let's read your most recent headline from your most recent investigation. Trump Organization ups its reliance on foreign workers. So let's talk about first how this is at odds with his past policy, sentiment, and stance on immigration.
Build the wall, send them back, travel ban. You know, there's no shortage of examples in Donald Trump's politics of trying to position us against them in terms of Americans versus outsiders. He's taken some very tough stances against immigration, yet his businesses rely on short-term foreign labor to operate.
At the height of the pandemic, when he was still president, he signed an executive order temporarily barring the entry of immigrant workers on a host of employment-based visas. So why does the Trump organization choose to hire foreign workers opposed to American citizens?
It's an excellent question. I've reached out to them. They did not get back to me. They're only supposed to be able to do it when they cannot find American citizens to do that labor. And that's, they've been doing this since at least 2008. So obviously unemployment right now is very low, but that has not always been the case going back to 2008. So, it's speculated it's cheaper. I don't know exactly what they would be paying U.S. workers, but, it's been a reliable source of employees for them over the past 16 years at least.
So from what you're saying, this practice is legal, but can you go over the policies of retaining temporary foreign workers?
Yeah, it's complicated and it's a pain, and it involves 3 different government agencies. So first, the business has to get certified by the Department of Labor that they can, in fact, have short-term foreign labor. Then they have to apply to the Department of Homeland Security for them to approve a specific number of people. So each year, the Trump Organization and all the other businesses that do this have to say, this is the amount of employees we want. And then the Department of Homeland Security will certify that number, maybe tell them it's a little bit less than what they wanted. And then the people who are matched up with those jobs then have to go to a U.S. State Department, embassy, or consulate in their own country to get their visa. So you've got 3 different departments there, and state government gets a little bit involved as well.
And how many foreign workers is the Trump Organization hiring?
This year, they are actually, for 2023, they were looking for 170. We don't know exactly how many are hired. We just know the amount that they were given permission to hire. And that information is just out there on the Department of Labor website. You can get these spreadsheets that will show, they update it quarterly on the names of businesses and who they've hired. And it's split up amongst 2 different types of visas. There's the H-2A visa, which is for agricultural workers, and that's what the Trumps use for people to come work at their Virginia winery. And then there's the H-2B, which is service and hospitality. That's going to be your housekeepers, your servers, your chefs at Mar-a-Lago and some of the golf clubs.
I want to note that your headline says ups its reliance. You said earlier that the Trump Organization has been hiring foreign workers since at least 2008. Have they also hired undocumented immigrants? Talk about that.
Yeah, there was a Washington Post article several years ago that I think was able to track down 49 former or undocumented workers who had been employed at Trump properties, some of them for decades. So they have a history of that as well.
This practice that the Trump Organization has been employing goes back to at least 2008, as you said, but he was president 2017 to the very beginning of 2021. Throughout his presidency, as you noted at the top, President Trump did say that he wanted to put American workers first. What does this practice say about that stance?
Well, during his presidency, his businesses sought to employ 382 foreigners, including 121 in 2018, which was the high mark. The figure probably would have been higher, but due to COVID, the programs were curtailed. We're going back to 2008 on this because that's the last year that data is available for the Department of Labor. Chances are he used some foreign short-term temporary workers at his casinos. It's just, is this consistent with his stances? But he has given carve-outs. There's a great video. I wasn't able to track it down to link to it in this, remember watching it when he was president, where he was going on about immigration, but then he paused to tell his crowd, like, oh, yeah, you know what, but the short-term temporary workers, they're good. We're fine with them. It was not a great applause line for him, and I think he's dropped it since there. So he has, made clear that there are carve-outs here for the short-term temporary workers that he needs.
And do you think those carve-outs were strategic since his businesses employ temporary foreign workers?
Donald Trump is not, he's known to operate in his own best interest. I would not be all that surprised. And one of the things I found years ago when I was reporting exclusively on the Trump Hotel in D.C. was that there was a group that lobbies for more of these visas had booked an event at his hotel. So here you have, a group coming to D.C. to lobby for a policy that benefits President Trump, and they're paying President Trump's businesses while they're here.
And you noted that this also renews national security concerns because there are foreign workers working at places like Mar-a-Lago, where Donald Trump has been known to keep classified documents. Can you expand on that?
Of course. So from 2017 through 2022, from when Trump was president through when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago and seized the classified documents, Mar-a-Lago had looked to employ 380 short-term foreign workers. The DOJ indictment of Trump also says that he had some documents at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf course. In 2022, that club had sought 7 foreigners to work as cooks and servers. So, you've got these short-term temporary workers coming in, hanging out at a facility that does not have, that has classified documents and doesn't have them held securely. Do we have any documented cases of any of these people being foreign agents? No. But on the other hand, it seems it would be incredibly irresponsible for any foreign government, especially one that's an adversary of the United States, not to try to get some spies in there. I mean, it seems like it would be very easy to do so.
Has Donald Trump or the Trump Organization at large commented on your latest investigation or this practice at all?
They haven't gotten back to me on this one. They did tell the Washington Post regarding the undocumented workers that they follow labor law, and when they find out somebody is undocumented, that they do terminate their employment. But yeah, they have not gotten back to me, and I've covered this now for several years. Each year we get a new bunch of documents showing who the Trumps are looking for, and this is something I've reported on previously. I mean, I think all told we're looking at, what did we say, 1,700? About 1,700 foreign workers have been working at Trump properties since 2008. So they've had plenty of opportunity to explain this process away.
Well, Zach Everson, per usual, I appreciate the reporting. Thanks for the conversation.
My pleasure. Thanks, Brittany.